In the meantime, you keep waiting for the rise of the establishment, which you refer to, and you do have these people who, in the pack behind those two guys in the establishment lane, who look as if maybe they're ready finally to go somewhere. Chris Christie seems to have found his voice in the last couple of weeks. Jeb Bush, you got to figure that the most well-known and the most well-financed candidate is eventually going to have a moment. Maybe that starts with the debate here this week. And Marco Rubio is maybe poised to explode. So it feels as if there's bubbling just beneath the surface.
It definitely feels that way, and I think that this debate may become that juncture in the campaign, largely because of the content of the debate. And we're going to be discussing the economy and jobs and taxes. And if you look at the prior debates, when the conversation went into policy deep, Trump didn't do very well.
Yeah.
And Ben Carson didn't do very well. And the guys who have records, who know how to answer these questions, that have built their careers steeped in this debate, they do quite well. And so if the debate conversation stays in those areas, I think it is an opportunity for one of the more experienced candidates to get a lift.
Yeah, and I do think we're going to have policy heavy this Tuesday night. I think I can promise people that.
Yes, and I'm looking for Rubio really to have his moment. Of the top four candidates, and I say four because they're four in double digits, Carson, Trump, Rubio, and Cruz. Rubio is the one who we've seen, as Jeanne was saying, in prior debates, putting out substance. He's the one who says, look, the next president has to deal with the fact that the largest retailer in this country, Amazon, has no brick and mortar stores, is entirely online. How do we develop a workforce that can deal with that kind of world? He talks about education, vocational education, access to higher education in a way that you don't hear a lot of from the other candidates. In a debate like we're going to have on Tuesday night, that policy could really rise and fill the room.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what the other candidates need to do, Jeanne, as we head into this debate. It seems to me that Ben Carson, and this goes back to comments we've been making along the way, Ben Carson needs to show that he has some substance here. I think it's been policy light for him. This is not going to be an environment where you can get away with that necessarily.
Yes, and he and Donald Trump keep promising things are coming. But if you look at the last debate, Ben Carson struggled to answer a question about his own tax plan.
Right.
He barely got to the end of that sentence. So we got to see if he has, boned up and built out what his policy proposals are going to be. Because, as I said, up against the more experienced guys, Carson and Trump don't do well with these conversations.